If I didn't give you need them, go ahead and jump in the chat. I think I got everybody. Before we get into the meat of the game, Asia, a quick couple of questions. First of all, where did Kelsey Plum go to school?
Like college?
Yes.
Washington, home of the Huskies.
And what state is that in?
Washington.
Has she ever been to South Carolina, to your knowledge?
Yeah, a couple times. I think maybe for USA.
Why was she wearing South Carolina gear after the game yesterday?
So it was like January-ish. Arkansas and South Carolina played each other because obviously SEC is the best women's basketball conference. And she wanted to do this bet like, if South Carolina loses, I'm wearing Arkansas stuff. But we always know how that went. And I said, well, South Carolina got the win, so you have to wear some Gamecock stuff. So I felt like the perfect time was going to be game one in the playoffs where everything is all eyes on KP, especially now. And she looked great in garnet and black.
Excellent. Thank you for adding a little bit of information to the color from the other night.
Yep.
Let's get started with Nancy with USA Today.
Hey, Asia, thank you very much for doing this. I'm going to go a little bit off topic, but we've heard a lot this week from the NBA about vaccinations and kind of the drama around it. You all didn't have any of that. And I'm just wondering, how important was it from the NBA to lead on this issue, very similar to what you guys have done all along in terms of leading in other social justice efforts?
Yeah, I think it's just important for us as just elite professional athletes to voice our opinions and voice where we are, because we have such a big platform and a following. And it's kind of like if one person hears you or listens to you, it can then do the domino effect and trickle down to our fan base or anyone else to do their research and do what's best for them and their family. So I think it is good for, especially on the NBA guys. I mean, their platform is enormous. So if people hear it and they see them doing it, then hopefully it'll get them going as well. So I think it's very important. But when it comes to us, we may not have as big of a platform, but we still have a voice that carries, and we just got to continue to use it and voice our opinions and what we stand on and stand by on.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nick?
Hey, Asia. Raquana and Kelsey had really good games last game. Can you just speak about the depth of this team, how anybody on this team pretty much can line it up on any given night?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the beauty of our team, honestly. It's not just one of us. And, I mean, we can't take anything away from Phoenix as well. They have a lot of weapons. But with us, you know, it's just who we are. It really is. I mean, from our bench from 1 to 11, we're powerful in what we can do. And if we bring it in, if we're all on the same page, we're pretty hard to beat. So I'm so glad that they're having the games that they're having. I hope they can continue that because it makes my job a lot easier, and I love them for that. So I'm excited just to continue this series.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Rafiq?
I want to get your thoughts on your teammate Kelsey Plum walking away with the 6th Woman of the Year and the 3rd consecutive Las Vegas Aces. Your teammate take home the trophy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for her. I mean, we knew this at the beginning of the year she was going to win it. KP is one of the most hardworking athletes I've ever seen. She's constantly always doing something all the time, and she deserves this award more than anyone. And I'm just so glad that she's finally blossoming and blooming into this player that everyone knew. We knew she had it in her, but, you know, the world kind of bashed her first couple of years. So I'm so glad that she's just flourishing in this way, and I can just witness it. I give her a hard time, but she's hardworking, and she just deserves that 100%.
Sam?
Hey, Asia. Tuesday was your first playoff game with Chelsea, who's obviously played in a lot of those playoff games. She had mentioned at the beginning of the season that you were one of the people that had reached out to her about coming to play with you all this year. What about her game did you admire before you played with her? And then now that you've had a full season and now that you're in the playoffs, how has that kind of evolved and translated?
Yeah, I mean, it's her leadership. Chelsea's leadership is crazy. Like, people look at her and be like, oh, the things that she can do with the basketball, it's amazing. Yes, it is. But her leadership on the court and the way that she calms us down, puts us in pace, something that I really wanted to play alongside of. And I'm glad that we got her, and I'm glad that we're here and we're in it. And just being in it, you see that championship leadership. She's been in these situations before. I honestly think this is the first game one I've ever won. Right, Jiggy? Because Washington, yeah, this is the first game one I've ever won. So, like, it's like a feeling that I've never felt before, but I'm glad that I can share it with someone that's been there before, that's been in these big moments, and we can just continue to march forward. But yeah, last night I was like, dang, this is my first game one I've ever won. So like, that's a good sign, I hope. But yeah, just we're glad to have her on board and to lead it and lead this team.
Yeah, to build off that, like you said, it's first game one you've ever won. How does that kind of change or affect the series? You know, you're probably going to get Phoenix's best punch tonight. What's the mentality going into game two?
I mean, it's the same thing that we had in game one of this whole season, just being locked in and on the same page. Like, we're at a point where we can't really change up anything because we all know each other's stuff. It's just a matter of just the little things, the 50-50 balls, the diving on the floor, the rebounds, the O-boards. It's those little things that we're just going to really need to capitalize and clean up, because they're going to come out with ready to go, and we have to do the same. We can't fall off at all.
Thank you.
Yep.
Real quick, Chelsea Gray note from the other night. She became just the third player in WNBA playoff history to have a game of 12 assists and one or fewer turnovers. The other two, Cynthia Cooper and Diana Taurasi. Chantel, Ms. Jennings.
This is perfect. We're just going to stay on board the Chelsea Gray train with another point about her. Sam asked about her play on the court, but Asia, I'm curious, your guys' relationship off the court, how that sort of evolved this year, the time you got to spend together at the Olympics. What's that been like?
Yeah, Chelsea's really like my sister from another mister, for real. Like, I don't even know how else we can put it in words. We're constantly talking about just anything. It's like a normal sister relationship that I really appreciate, especially when that someone's just your point guard and you're always on the floor with, and you're sharing ideas and you're talking and we're communicating, maybe not necessarily about basketball, but different stuff. That's a great bond to have. So I'm glad to have her on board. It's kind of, sometimes I'm still like, dang, Chelsea Gray's really my teammate, because it's just crazy to think about it. But yeah, our relationship, our friendship is pretty tight.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fago?
Hey, how you doing, Aisha? The other day you paid homage to Cheryl Swoops. What did she mean to you as a player as well as a role model for the sport?
Oh man, Cheryl Swoops is the GOAT. Like, she started it all. And she's one that is just an amazing person. Like, her game speaks for itself. You know, you see it, Hall of Famer, all this. But like, when I talk to Cheryl Swoops, I really feel like I'm talking to my mom. Like, even when I talk to Lisa Leslie, like, it's just something about it. They give off that motherly like spirit that it's just like, you know, when your ancestors kind of got your back. Like, I really feel that, like, the legends really got my back. She gives me the real of the real. And those are the things that I can appreciate. And even though we rock 22, you know, that's the best number there is. But it's just really cool to just form a relationship with a legend like that and to be able to pay homage to her. I was all aboard of that. So she's really the GOAT, honestly.
Thank you, Asia.
Yep.
All right, Asia, before I let you go, I just want to make sure, Mean Gene, I know I accidentally hosed you the other day. You had your hand up in a Bill scrum. I just want to make sure you're good to go today.
Yes, I am. Thanks a lot. Asia, how much of an impact was the crowd on Tuesday night's game?
Oh man, it was a huge impact. That's playoff atmosphere, constant noise. Everybody's all into the game. That's just, it's exactly what we needed. And I'm so excited that our fans could celebrate that with us, to be involved and just watch it all go down. So yeah, it was a huge impact. It was times where I literally would look at KP and I'm like, I don't know what you just called, which is a good thing because our crowd is involved. They're loud, they're cheering, and it has an effect on us, for real.
Thanks a lot, and good luck on your next one.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everybody. We will be back momentarily.